92.5. Second date update.
You know, when you think of the most fun and romantic times to be dating,
Okay.
I think there's a few eras that definitely stand out. You know, like the 1950s with drive-in movies and sock hops.
Yeah, malt.
Milkshake counters, what were those called?
That's a malt
Like where
shop?
you sat
Yeah.
and you each had a straw?
Yeah, you splitting a shake.
That doesn't happen
Shake
anymore.
Shack? No, that's not it either.
But there's also the roaring 20s, too.
Wow.
With flapper
Yeah.
girls and speakeasies. It was always a party. But
Dancing was
probably
lit.
the most romantic era was the Middle Ages.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Just taking that special lady to a book burning, going on a moonlit witch hunt, and while the smell of rotting flesh just wafts through the town, and then you lock lips as the crowd chants, "Burn her!"
Oh, that's so cute.
That is that was dark.
Would you like to burn the steak, my lady?
Wow. Who are we going to decapitate tonight?
It gets me in the mood every time, I'll tell
all
you.
right.
And I'm not the only one, because there's another guy out there who knows just how romantic the Renaissance was.
Uh-oh.
His name is Darren. He's on the phone with us right
He's a
now
wizard.
for a second date update. What's up, Darren?
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, I'm going to go out on a limb here, that we're leading to you're a Ren Fair type of guy.
I mean, I don't know if I'm that type of guy, but I did actually go to a Renaissance fair for sure, and I had a blast.
I've been to a few. They're actually really fun, whether
Big-
you're into it or not.
All people ever tell me about them is the turkey legs or whatever
They're
y'all
so
eat.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to buy
Yeah.
one.
What's the name of the fair maiden that you took to the Renaissance
Oh,
fair?
nice. Yeah.
It was on a blind date. My buddy Troy was really digging on this girl, and so he asked me to be a wingman for him. And
So it was like a group of you that went.
Yeah, there were four of us, and so I went, and I was with Melissa.
Okay.
And
Okay.
did you guys dress up for this? I mean, were you in full medieval garb?
Not full medieval garb. I don't have full medieval garb, but
Okay.
Troy bought us. I don't know if he was just being nice and probably showing off a little bit. But right when you enter, you can buy a few bits and pieces, and he bought us a hat, and he bought me a scarf with this arm guard. So we kind of looked the part for
Okay.
sure.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
good.
What kind of date activities do you do at a Renaissance fair? Like, do they have couples bloodletting?
No!
What do you do that's romantic there?
Bloodletting.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what that era had.
No, mostly, the most entertaining part at the beginning was just sort of taking in all the people, just watching all the folks who did take it really seriously. I was so surprised at the number of folks who, they had an entire separate wardrobe, or maybe they walk around like this out in the world and I just have never seen them.
I feel like we're hearing a lot about the Renaissance Fair and not so much about Melissa. What did you feel? It's a blind date. You didn't know anything going in.
Well, we were having a blast. I felt like we were just laughing and having fun. It was just really easy.
Was there chemistry? Was there a
I
romantic?
felt like there was. By the end of it, before we went to the jousting match, we were we would be walking and kind of rubbing elbows, and we were getting closer. And
In
Okay.
medieval times, that was practically sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you made
allowed.
babies back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. She showed her elbows? What?
yeah, she let me see her elbow. Right.
Burn her!
Yeah.
You're a witch!
Okay.
Well, that's good, though.
Were there any lowlights of the Renaissance fair, though?
She did confide that she was a volleyball player in college, and so I figured she was an athlete.
How is that a
Nice,
confession?
bro.
What do you mean confide?
Dude.
Well, we watched this jousting where there were knights on horses, and it was tons of fun. And then they opened up this sort of participant jousting section where you had to stand on a log and you sort of poke each other with these foam tip lances. And
Okay.
so we jumped on the balance log and started goofing with each other with these lances. And she throttled me. She landed me a hit. It glanced off my shoulder and hit me in the neck, and I went
Ow.
down.
Oh, no.
Did she apologize?
She was laughing. Troy was laughing. His date was laughing. I just sort of played it off like everything was cool, but I don't know if it was the mead or the grog or whatever. But I jumped back on that log and I went after it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
no.
Beat
You
her
saw
up.
red.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted, I just wanted to let her know that yes, you're an athlete, but I can play this game too.
Oh, so competitiveness. Okay.
I've been working with a lance for years,
Yeah.
so I'm going to show you who's boss.
Is that fun?
I was having a good time. I was a little worried, and am a little worried that I might have taken that just a little too far.
I'm a man. I can't get beat by a woman. I mean, that's kind of like the vibe
It sounds
you're sending
like-
off right
But
now.
it's in keeping with the Renaissance theme.
Yeah.
So you're just in character. That's not showing who you really are. Right?
But I think that we had enough of a great time that I could put it back together. I mean, we like laughed and giggled almost the whole time. It was really fun.
How did the Renaissance Fair end between you two? Was there a kiss or a hug?
There wasn't a kiss or a hug because we were we were in the sort of duo date moment, but I definitely left showing interest, and I asked for her number, and she seemed very eager to give it another run.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's see what she has to say. We're going to play a song. We'll come back. We'll call the fair maiden Melissa for you, and we'll try and get you your second date update. All right, Darren?
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, hold on. If you're just tuning in for the second date update, we've got Darren on the phone. He recently wingmanned for his buddy at a Renaissance fair. Yeah. And his blind date there was a woman named Melissa. He says they had a great time together, checking out the medieval merch, drinking mead. But things got a little weird when they did some playful jousting using foam lances. Because Darren lost to Melissa in the first round, got knocked off his perch, so he was embarrassed and came back, went full Sir Galahad on his date.
What's that?
I think we know what that means.
It's famous night from
Yeah.
the Renaissance time.
Galahad? Oh, never heard of it.
Okay, well.
Talk about Sir Arthur. That's what I'm talking about. Merlin, baby.
Okay, well,
Let's go.
Darren knows who Sir Galahad was, and he channeled that and, basically beat the crap out of Melissa with the foam lance. So he's worried maybe he got a little too intense in the moment, and that could be the reason that she's been blowing him off. Is that right, Darren?
That is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much recapped it pretty well.
He liked it all.
He's still laughing, thinking
I
about
like
the
that.
memory of knocking her to the ground.
Well, and it was like, it sounds like you were kind of intimidated that she was a collegiate athlete to me. I mean, Alexis was a collegiate athlete on our show. I mean, do
true.
dudes get really competitive with you because they knew you?
I mean, if I was to get beat by a guy, though, I wouldn't stop till I can try to beat him. So I think you have a good chance of getting her back.
Oh, she just wants
so that
vengeance.
she can joust
Oh,
you again.
that's awesome.
Okay. Okay.
I love that.
Good.
Okay, well, let's give her a call and find out what the reason is. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Melissa?
Yeah.
Hi, Melissa. My name's Jeffrey from the radio show Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning. You have a second to talk with us?
I guess. This is strange.
Sorry, I know it's a little bit weird, but I'm here with my co-hosts, Brooke and Jose.
Hey.
And Alexis is here,
yeah.
too.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi. What is this about?
This is about a segment that we do called the Second Date Update. It's where if you go out with someone and afterwards, if they're not calling you back, you can email our show and we'll reach out to your date for you to try and figure out the reason why they're ghosting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
It doesn't.
I don't know. I don't know who would be calling you about me, but okay.
Well, the guy that emailed us, maybe you don't recognize him in his normal clothes, but maybe if he's wearing his night costume.
Oh, okay. It sounds familiar.
Okay.
It still sounds crazy, but it's...
Yeah, I'm talking about Darren.
Mm-hmm.
That you went to the
Okay.
Renaissance Fair with?
Yes, we did. We did that.
Okay. The reason that Darren reached out to us is because he says he had a great time hanging out with you, but afterwards you've been blowing him off and he's not quite sure why.
Well, first of all, I think it's crazy that he's reaching out to get in touch with me. That is beyond. But I'm going to, I'm going to go along with this and say, yes, we had a good time. It was great.
Well, if you had a good time, how come you're not calling him back then?
Is it because he got a little too competitive when he was jousting you? I mean, he told us that you took him down and his little male ego got hurt, and so he got up and maybe got a little too competitive.
Yes, he did. He did get competitive. And I mean, I'm competitive too, so I definitely understand the spirit of retaliation.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
And I also understand how fragile the male ego is. So I let him win a couple, after that,
Oh, you let him win.
Oh, he didn't know
Yeah.
Oh, was that a turnoff? Was that like why you don't like
No,
him?
I mean, I'm used to that. I'm a woman, so I'm used to
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Like
For
that.
sure.
So it wasn't terrible. We laughed a lot. It was cool. But we were like walking around and stuff, and he said something to me that threw me off. At
Okay.
the time, I didn't really know. So I said to him that I had never been to a Renaissance festival, which I hadn't.
Okay.
He said that he had never been to a Renaissance festival, which I didn't find unusual because it's not like people go to those all the time. I guess I don't know.
All right.
He said that he hadn't been to that type of festival, but he had been to a fairy festival.
A fairy festival?
Oh.
Like elves and fairies? Is that what you mean?
No, like furry, like
Oh,
like
furry.
Furry,
Like
way,
furries.
way different.
Furry.
That's
Yeah.
not the same.
Oh my gosh.
No,
Furries where you dress up in the big animal costumes and they say it's not necessarily a sexual thing, but you...
It is
But
though.
the romance happens.
Well, based on, okay, so I didn't know what that was, but I was just like, okay, I was just going to take that home because I like to Google things. So when I
Oh, God.
got home,
Oh, you're in for
So
it.
I looked into it, like, what kind of festival is this? Thinking, like, well, maybe we could do that the next time,
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
So I looked it up, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
so I guess I don't need to tell y'all. You said it's like a festival for,
I think they call them conventions.
Orgies.
I don't know that they always are though, because I had a girlfriend
know.
stay at a hotel once that had a furry convention going on.
She hooked up with one, didn't she?
No, but there was like schedules for like nap time in the lobby where they would all go cuddle together. And she said when you would get in the elevator with them, they would all pack in together because they like to be really
Yeah.
close and tight
I
together.
haven't heard of this. I don't.
Are
That's
you-
what my
think this
friend
is normal.
said.
Oh, really? Was it really your friend, quote unquote? I have
She was
this
on a
weird
work
friend
trip.
who's,
I swear.
and I just happen to know all the details about the convention from what she told me. Obviously, I didn't go.
I think it's fascinating.
Okay, but for you,
it's
Melissa,
fascinating.
But
the
I've heard
furry.
that it's not always sexual. That's what I'm saying.
But for you, Melissa,
Well, what I read was quite sexual, and it was quite freaky and a little bit too freaky for me. And I'm like, if we go out, I don't want him trying to, put me in some.
Bunny
No.
rabbit.
You don't want to be a
No.
little panda bear?
No, I didn't want this to escalate into anything that I was not comfortable with. So I just decided that I wasn't going to call him back. That's all.
I'm sorry. I know that you don't like escalating things, but I have to escalate this conversation just a little bit and let you know Darren has actually been on the other line listening, and he heard everything that you said.
Why would y'all set me up like that?
I'm sorry.
Part of the show.
He was desperate.
Darren, take off your giant squirrel head. Are you still there?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I am still here. I am.
Did you hear what Melissa said? Why she's freaked out?
I did. I'm like, I actually forgot that I even brought that up. It was like not even a thing for me.
I
It was
didn't.
just like a silly little, wingman date kind of experience, similar to this like Ren Fair thing.
You wingmaned at a furry convention
Who are
too?
you hanging out with? I think it's fine.
It was not pitched to me as a furry festival. It was pitched to me as like a animal costume thing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, honestly, like I was curious, and there was some really interesting behaviors going on,
Yeah.
and I was just sort of a fly on the wall.
Melissa,
Oh, you watched.
Melissa, are you listening to him? I mean, I think it sounds like he went to this thing once. He wanted to see what it's about, check it out. I mean, I don't think he's
Yeah.
going to put you in a puppy costume anytime soon.
Yeah, I could have overreacted. Google will have you doing that, though.
It's like,
Dude, you're right.
But Darren, did you participate? I know you were a wingman, but did you participate in any of the extracurricular?
Oh my
Festivities.
God!
The adult stuff.
There you go.
I get what you're asking, Melissa, and I'm so embarrassed that I have to answer this, but no, I did not participate.
Huh.
I watched some interesting stuff go on, but I did not do any of it.
Okay. Didn't
I think that it's cool, Melissa.
Don't you think just watching people do weird stuff is maybe worse
I mean,
than just participating?
Guys,
Yo,
I
I'm
don't.
Kink shame,
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with just
Look,
bars?
okay.
I know people have to go to these places.
We do go to bars, but you're dressed like a squirrel.
Yeah.
yeah.
People watching is okay, but you know.
That's
Yeah.
a little different, though.
At least he didn't wingman at BronyCon. Then it'd be a different story, maybe.
I'd still be okay with that.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is. What is BronyCon?
Don't
man.
Google anything anymore.
Oh,
I'm
man.
like, I can't believe that I'm letting you all let me know that I'm a square. This is terrible.
Well, hold on. Maybe we
Like, I don't know.
maybe we can round you out a little bit because we want to offer to send you on another date with Darren, and we'll pay for it. Doesn't have to be to any convention. Maybe just a normal dinner date.
That might be a better, reset.
Yeah, you could start by wearing a wig, and then we'll build up to more and more of a costume thing. Oh, Darren loves it.
There you go. He's trying to watch.
Okay, as long as he wears one too.
Okay.
So that's a yes.
That is a yes.
Oh,
All right.
Yay!
I think that's awesome.
Congratulations,
All right.
Darren. You got your second date.
we did it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Melissa, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed until he takes off the giraffe costume.
Oh, my gosh.
You're saying he's
I
overcompensating.
love it.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
We've heard a lot of very romantic dates for your second date update.
yeah,
but
we
today's second date update, I think, might be the most romantic night out we've ever heard.
Oh,
Really?
I'm
Ever.
excited.
We've heard from people who have rented out full castles and
Yeah.
I know.
helicopter rides. What are you talking about?
I don't think anything can compare to today's second date update, and I don't even want to spoil it. Normally I might say what the email was about, but I'm just gonna let Ariana tell us about it. Ariana, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks.
You should be great because, man, this guy pulled out all the stops when he took you out.
I'm dying to know her, and it
Yeah.
was the most romantic date ever.
Tell us about it. Tell us about your romantic date with, what's his name, Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry took me to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
Oh my
dude.
God, I thought so too. It could still be romantic. You never know.
No, it can't.
Did he rent out the whole McDonald's and do a little candlelit dinner because the McDonald's fries are your favorite?
Actually, it was much quieter than that. And we met online. He just seemed super nice. I'm looking for nice right now. And we were talking, and he just sounded like a good guy. And so he's like, let's take it slow. Let's do lunch. And then he suggested McDonald's, which I balked at, but I was like, sure, let's, see. But it was so sweet. We got Happy Meals. We sat by the playland. We talked about growing up, our backgrounds. And
I'm just saying, last time I was at McDonald's Playland, I literally watched a kid puke on his shoes.
And that's some people's romance right there. Could be a beautiful thing. Did he at least put a candle in the bun of one of your burgers? So a little candle light?
No, nothing like that.
No?
I mean, I got a milkshake. I wanted a milkshake, and he bought me chocolate milkshakes. That was sweet.
Hey, I will
Wow.
say, though, if he can go through a McDonald's date and leave you still smitten, then there is something special about this guy.
It was super sweet, very nostalgic, just really a good kind of place to talk about growing up. And I feel like I got a good feel for his background and his family and who he is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was nice. And after we went to this park that was nearby, just walked around for a while, sat at a picnic table for 30 minutes.
So basically, it's the most budget date ever. You're gonna go to McDonald's, hit up the dollar menu, and then go for a walk in the park.
I was looking for a good guy, and he said he wanted to take it slow, and that's slow. But it was really it was pleasant. It was really nice. I had a great time with him. And I don't know, I haven't heard from him.
So what was the vibe from him on the date?
We just felt really comfortable. It was really, we kind of talked very easily the whole time.
You should feel comfortable. You guys went on a date like somebody who's been dating for 15 years. Hey, you want to just go get some McDonald's real quick?
he seemed really interested, like, in me. Like, he asked a lot of questions about me too. It was definitely a two-sided conversation, and
It seems like he should be wowed by you. I mean, the stereotype is that girls want all this materialistic stuff on the dates, right? But you just really liked him for him.
yeah, I feel that way too.
How did things end?
So after we were at the park for about 30 minutes, he said he had to get back to work, and we just, had a big hug. He just gave him a nice hug, and then I texted him after and just, said thanks for such a nice time, and he texted back, "You're welcome!" ! And then I haven't heard from him since.
Well, it does sound steamy, that's for sure. Big hug, and then you haven't heard anything, though.
No, for a week. And obviously it wasn't steamy, but it was super comfortable. It was really nice. I thought we.
Do you think, because he said he wanted to take it slow, that maybe he was coming out of a relationship and he just isn't ready to date?
I didn't get that vibe, no, but we didn't get a lot into like recent relationship history.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like further back history. But when we were talking online, like it did seem like he was interested in meeting a good person too. So
Any awkward moments that you can think of?
the only thing I can think of is like when we went to order our food, I had the thought of offering to pay, but then I thought, it's McDonald's, it's not. I'm not putting him out.
Right.
I let him pay for me, but then I thought, well, maybe I should have offered to pay, but I don't know. I can't imagine that would ruin it.
Right.
I
And
don't
if
know.
it did, that's like splitting hairs, man.
Yeah.
The total was $7.
Yeah.
Why did you not split that with me? Well, we'll see if that is actually the reason. We'll play a song, come back, and then call him and get your second date update, all right?
Thanks.
Okay, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Ariana's on the phone today for a second date update. Ariana should consider herself lucky because most dudes, when they go out on a first date, are trying to score the big O. Her dude, just trying to score a Big Mac. I'm loving it. Because that's all they did. They went to McDonald's and then went for a walk in the park. And now she's not getting a call back and we have no idea why.
And you said, in all of it, nothing seemed to go wrong and you guys just clicked. I'm just hoping that this is finally a second date where there's a real reasonable explanation. Like he's been in the hospital for a couple weeks or something. I don't know.
That's not true.
You think maybe he didn't like your food choice? Maybe you ordered the wrong thing at McDonald's? That's his big test?
Well, I did hear they have breakfast all day now, so maybe I did mess up.
Maybe you did. Or maybe you got the filet of fish, because anytime I see somebody get that, I'm like, serial killer, for sure.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm going to dial his phone number right now and see if we can figure it out for you. Here we go.
Hello?
Hey, is this Jerry?
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
Jubal from McDonald's.
Shut up. That's not true.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm a little confused. This is Jubal
Yes.
from the morning show?
Yes, from Brooke and Jubal in the morning, the radio show.
Okay. Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, not much. How are
Thanks for
you?
listening.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Not too bad. Thank you for asking. A little hungry for no reason at all, but we can get to that later.
What's going on?
Somebody emailed us about a second date update.
Okay.
Congratulations, Jerry.
Been on a date recently to the Golden Arches.
Oh, man.
Oh, you know exactly what McDonald's date we're talking about.
Are you serious right now?
Yes, Ariana is who I'm guessing you're thinking of. She's wondering why you're not calling her back after you took her on a beautiful date to McDonald's and a walk through the park.
Oh, my God.
So Jubal's actually kind of making fun, but she's had a great time.
I did too. I had a great time.
Oh, good.
So why
don't
aren't
call
you
her back
calling
then,
her
Jerry.
back? Yeah.
Well, I'm so embarrassed right now. Taking a girl to McDonald's is ridiculous. I get it, but believe me, I had something in the back of my mind, and I'm not like a wacko that just takes girls to McDonald's.
Hold up. You took her to McDonald's for a specific reason.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, was there actually like some sort of weird McDonald's test that you were doing?
Kind of.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, kind of.
Jubal was joking about that earlier. I thought he was being ludicrous.
No.
I thought I was too. What?
Listen, 5 years ago, if I would have met Ariana, she's awesome. But timing's kind of like everything, right?
So she's hot, but she's 5 years ago hot?
No.
No, it's not about that. She's beautiful. It's just, okay, so this is embarrassing, but my biological clock is ticking. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm going to be pushing 40, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's just, I guess it's women that normally feel that way, but I feel like my clock is ticking, so I wanted to go to McDonald's. So we went, but in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping that it would also propel us into a conversation about, kids.
What? Yeah, having kids? You and her possibly having kids? If she's open to children?
Yes.
Whoa.
I mean, she told us that you said you wanted to take things slow.
Well, that's what you say, but I mean, I want...
But you wanted to get her pregnant right there in the drive-thru.
Oh my God! Wait, so you think
That's what it sounds like.
In the back of my mind, I was like, I've been to that McDonald's before, and I always see kids, and it's kind of fun for me. I sit at McDonald's, and I'm not a creeper. I just...
Yeah, don't continue that sentence. We get what you're about to say, but it's going to come off very creepy. So just move past that. You took her there to sit next to kids.
I'm not creepy here, but I wanted to take her to McDonald's because the kids were there, the playground, all of that, and I wanted to see if her motherly instincts would kick in.
What does that mean? She was going to punish a child for running when he's not supposed to indoors or something?
Or grab somebody else's baby and just start breastfeeding it? What?
I don't get it either.
How does that just kick in public like that?
No. Not like that at all. It's just that we were having lunch, and there was this cute, a brother and sister, they're playing, and the brother literally fell off the monkey bars. They had a little jungle gym in there. He fell off 2 feet from us.
And?
It didn't faze her at all. Nothing.
Yeah,
it's not...
Jerry, kids fall all the time. I have kids, and it doesn't faze me when they fall.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I went over and I was looking for the mom, and the mom came over, and of course she helped out, but Ariana didn't do anything. It was like we were in a Seinfeld episode. Oh, that's a shame.
So you're saying because
the kids weren't really hurt and they just fell down.
Not hers.
You're saying that because she didn't help some strange child when the child fell on a playground, you think that she is not going to be a good mother?
No. I didn't say that. I was just looking for the instinct. My focus is on kids. If her instinct was to focus on kids, she would have done something, but that didn't happen. So, I don't know.
I feel like that's a really unfair judgment.
Look, I know what it's like to be on a first date. I've been on plenty of first dates. So I know on the date, I'm not going to ask her if she wants to have kids right away. You just don't do that.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking maybe if I saw something subconsciously, I would get a sense. I mean, that's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. And I feel like women out of anyone would understand if you talked about your biological clock and those feelings.
Well, I really want to have kids now. I want to have kids immediately.
When you say immediately, you're talking in the next 6 months?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Holy hell.
I don't think the timing works out on that anyway.
I don't want to be an old dad that's 40 years old trying to throw a football for my kid.
It just feels like you should have started this process a couple years ago or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks for giving us the reason, Jerry. And just to let you know, Ariana is on the other line, and we can ask her right now if she's ready to get pregnant.
God.
Ariana, are you ready to have a baby with Jerry?
Knew this. Are you kidding me right
Hi,
now?
guys.
I really don't want to do this, you guys.
You did it.
Hi, Jerry.
Hi, Ariana.
Hi.
Were you listening?
I was. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. I feel like such an idiot right now.
No, I wish you'd just talk to me. I I get it. I get the whole biological clock thing, and
you do.
I feel and I feel a little weird that you didn't see that or whatever it was that you saw in me. You didn't see that I was motherly. I did a lot. I've got younger brothers and sisters I told you about. I used to babysit. Like, I love kids.
Yeah, but there's a difference between loving kids and wanting to have them right this second.
I mean, I want to have kids, like, in, like...
You do?
Yeah. Like, I don't know, like 2-3 years.
Hey.
What?
You know what? That timeline just doesn't work for me.
What?
Jerry!
Why?
2-3 years with someone who is wonderful rather than 6 months with someone you barely know.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'll be too old by then.
you won't.
Jerry, you
dude.
realize you don't actually have a biological clock? Like, your stuff's going to work.
Yeah.
George Clooney just had twins and he's like 86 or something, right? Like, that stuff stays fresh for a while, okay?
Good, man.
Your expiration date is late compared to ours.
Look, I know all of the biological stuff. I know it. But it's a physical thing for me. I don't want to feel old and have kids. I want to be youthful and vibrant and all of that stuff, and nothing can change that.
So 2-3 years is, like, too much for you? You need, like,
Too much.
you need someone to... Wow.
But Jerry, how are you going to establish a good foundation of a relationship to have someone to parent with?
Good question, but I think there should be like a spark. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for that moment where it was like, oh my God, I can't wait to have kids. And that didn't happen for me. I just didn't feel that. It wasn't there. There was nothing that felt like kids now. Nothing.
You know, Jerry, I think I already know the answer, but would you want to go out with Ariana on a second date again? We will pay for it.
I don't know. I just feel like the timing's off between us. That's too bad. But Ariana, if you're really nice, and I enjoyed being with you. So if like anybody, some girls around you that you know of that you could set me up with, I would entertain that.
What?
Are you just looking for a surrogate?
Wait, so you're rejecting me, but you want me to set you up with one of my friends who will have your child, like, this year?
Well, if it's not too much to ask, I would appreciate that.
It's not a big request at all, yeah.
Yeah.
Not too much to ask.
I'm sorry, Jerry, but I guess my timeline isn't going to work for your request.
Yeah. You think?
Well, thanks for doing the second date update, Ariana. And Jerry, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, you got it, guys. And I know you have a lot of listeners, so if you want to put the word out for me, I'm a really nice guy.
We'll do it right now. Text in 78592. Who wants to get pregnant by Jerry?
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Lincoln South Food Hall in Bellevue. Fitness for foodies. From carb-loving meat eaters to vegan and everything in between, we've got you covered. Grab a quick lunch or come for happy hour. You'll leave craving more. Order online at lincolnsfh.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Today, a listener named Ethan is on the phone for a second date update, and I read your email, Ethan. I think I already figured out your problem.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, your email was like super positive. You said everything was great. Like, it sounded like maybe the best date ever. That's kind of how you framed it in your email. And I'm thinking maybe your problem is the date was just too good. And she doesn't want to do it again.
Yep.
And that's why she's not calling you back. That's it.
no.
Yeah, you just ruined dating for her altogether. And now she can't date anymore because it was just such an amazing date. So we're done then. I guess that's it for the second date update. All right?
See you later.
No, you still want to do it?
Yeah, let's run through it just because I feel like it wasn't completely perfect, but
Okay.
I want to try another perfect date with her.
Big
Fine,
Go against
Ethan.
the expert.
I know. Thought I helped you out already, but whatever. Tell us your story. What's the name of the girl you want to call today?
Her name's Skylar.
Skylar.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, and we actually met on a dating app, which I'm kind of totally averse to, but I've been on this dating app for maybe about a year at this point, so I feel like I've kind of seen the gamut.
So
and
you're a
most
little
girls-
jaded and your expectations weren't real high is what it sounds like.
You could say that, but I've had connections with people, but I just haven't, I don't know, something that was completely different about this girl. I just felt like it clicked between us.
Are you saying before the date or once you guys met in person?
No, once we met in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was so special about the whole thing?
I don't know. I mean, I just feel like there's so many Me Too's in the conversation. You know, like she would be saying something and I would be like, oh my God, me too.
Oh.
It was like 40 times where we were like, oh yeah, me too, me too, me too.
That's when it's good on a date. If it starts with a hashtag, it's not going to be a good thing. I guarantee it.
Right. No. I mean, it was not like that at all. It was just like, if, I was saying like, oh, I was a Boy Scout. She was like, oh my God, I was a Girl Scout. We had like so many things that we had in common. And, But yeah, the big thing is we kind of connected over how long we were kind of in the Scouts program.
Oh, you guys went deep into
the... Yeah. We went for deep because she was a Girl Scout for like, I don't know, like, from when she was 9 or 8 until she finished high school.
Oh my God, did you guys have like a knot tying contest right there?
We totally could have. I would have loved to have had that. How many knots can you do? Maybe 15, 30 right now?
Wow.
Oh, cute date.
So are you one of those guys that's like an Eagle Scout? You made it all the way to the top, and then like you live the rest of your life still like a Boy Scout, basically?
Well, I mean, it's not like you're always out and you're like bringing a survival kit with you at all times, but it does have some really solid life skills in it of like this idea of always being prepared and whatever. Regardless, the big thing that I felt like she took from it, what I took from it as well, is that we both really enjoy the outdoors and stuff and like camping and hiking. So that kind of just gave me like this brilliant idea that I thought maybe it would be really romantic to give Skylar like this traditional campfire, but in the city.
Okay.
I love those.
And so at the end of the date, I was driving her home, and on our way home, I was like, well, 1 second, I'm just going to go in and grab something. So I kind of ducked into a 7-Eleven, and I bought one of those Duraflame logs, and like I got some empty boxes, and I got some marshmallows, because I was like, well, why don't we have this campfire in the city,
That's cute.
That is really cute.
I thought it would be really kind of fun, right?
Yeah.
Cute until you get busted by the cops.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's legal.
You said campfire in the city. Where'd you fire up this log? In the middle of a street?
No.
He's in a back alley next to a...
Yeah, it was kind of a little bit of an alleyway, sure, but it didn't feel sketchy at all. But I thought she kind of would have enjoyed it, and she totally did.
It's pretty romantic, to be honest.
Yeah.
Did you guys kiss?
Yeah, we kissed. We held hands a little bit. We were kind of being, cuddly and stuff. And
so right there in an alley, smelling like I'm sure urine and trash next to a dumpster with a Duraflame log going, you guys were just snuggled up.
It was one of those you had to be there moments. I mean, talking about it in retrospect, it does kind of seem a little
Don't
ridiculous.
let Jubal hate on your campfire, okay? He just hates the outdoors.
That is
all
true.
right?
It's very true. Even city outdoors. I just don't like being outside.
Yeah. I think your idea sounds super awesome, and I can't believe she's not calling you back.
I feel that way as well. I mean, unfortunately, we weren't able to actually eat the marshmallows that we were roasting because I guess the Duraflame is like toxic, I guess.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, the chemicals.
Yeah, there's a lot of chemicals in that thing.
Yeah, exactly. I guess my part of being prepared as a Boy Scout kind of fizzled out at that. But it was a good date. I left it at that. I drove her home, kissed again at her place, and then, I texted her after a couple days just to check in, and she didn't ever text me back. So
I think Jubal's right. It was too perfect.
Oh, you guys agree?
Yeah.
You haven't heard a word from her at all?
No. I'm kind of worried that maybe she's met someone else or like on the app. Like she might still be on the app, and searching. Maybe she like went on another date and that guy went to Dubai with her or something. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll play a song and then come back and find out why she's not getting back to you with your second date update, okay?
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Hey, Ethan, how many fingers do you use?
What?
Whoa, what the?
I'm sorry.
What?
I should clarify. Let me clarify that first.
My mind went somewhere.
If you're just tuning in for today's second date update, Ethan is on the phone, and he went out on a date with a girl named Skylar. They both bonded over the fact that they grew up in the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, and they did it pretty much all their life. And that's why I was trying to remember, like, the salute. Is it you using 3 fingers or 2 fingers?
Oh, the salute.
What's the Boy Scout salute?
It's 3.
3?
It is 3.
Oh.
Gotta be 3. Of
What
course.
about the 1? Where does that go?
All right.
Is it 2 and the 3 and the?
No,
Never.
that is
That's
going.
not where that saying comes from.
No,
Maybe I
don't
got
think
the
so.
motto mixed up. I don't
Yeah.
know. Anyway, obviously I wasn't involved in that stuff.
2 in the Eagle Scouts, 1 in the
Is
Girl Scouts.
is that it? Something I don't know.
You guys both
Anyway.
move on quickly.
Ethan went out with Skylar. They bonded over the fact that they were both involved in the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. They had a really good date. It ended with an impromptu cookout, campfire sort of,
Campfire, yeah.
in the city because he bought a Duraflame log from 7-Eleven on the way home, sparked it up in an alley, and then they kind of sat there and hung out. in front of the campfire and made out a little bit, and he dropped her off and hasn't heard from her since. All right, Ethan, you ready to give her a call?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Are you nervous right now? Because I feel like I'm nervous for you. Like, everything went so well. What could be wrong?
I have no idea. It really it was one of those times where I felt like I was falling in love.
That's so sweet. And they say when you know, you know. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
This could be amazing.
Is that the Boy Scout motto?
No.
When you know, you know?
Okay, you need to move on from the Boy Scout stuff.
I gotta stop thinking about
You're
this.
really bad at it.
It's gonna bug me. All right. Well, I'm gonna call her right now and see if we can figure it out. Okay.
Awesome. I'm so excited.
Okay. Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to Skylar?
This is her.
Hey, Skylar, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
I'm good.
Nice. I should continue continue speaking to you. Have you heard of the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the morning before?
Yes, I haven't listened to it, but a friend of mine listens to that show.
Okay. Well, that's where I'm calling from, and we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. You probably don't know what that is, so I'll explain it. It's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them back after, that person can email us to get you on the phone and figure out what happened. And we got an email about you from a dude named Ethan. Sorry, a scout named Ethan.
Wait, oh my God, this is a second date update?
Yes, yes it is.
So your friend has told you about those?
Yes.
Well, congratulations, because you're about to be the star of one, because Ethan is wondering why you won't call him back after what he describes as a great first date.
What did he tell you about the date?
Oh my God, he told us that it was amazing.
Yeah, he told us that you guys really connected. You had a lot of Me Too conversations where it's like, I like this, me too. I like this, me too. And ended the date with he bought a Duraflame log, and then you guys had a campfire in the middle of an alleyway. And it sounded more romantic the way that he told it. But and you guys made out and everything else. He thought it was great, but now you're not calling him back, and he doesn't know why.
Yeah, I mean, the fire was a really sweet sentiment, I guess, but...
Even though you couldn't eat whatever you were cooking over the fire because of the chemicals from the Duraflame log?
Yeah, also, I don't know how contained that was, so...
Wait, it wasn't just like you've run out of time and you meant to call him back. Like, there's a reason you're not calling this guy back?
I don't know. After the campfire, I could tell that he really liked me, and he was really sweet. He drove me home, and right before he dropped me off, he asked if he could take me on a weekend getaway, which is also like a very romantic thing to ask, but not after we just met.
But he was going out on a limb, man. I mean, don't you want a guy to really like you at the end of a date?
Well, yeah, of course, but I just assumed that he wanted to do that because he was just trying to hook up with me.
Oh, so you're thinking that he doesn't want to go on a weekend getaway for romance. He just wanted to take you away so he could hook up with you.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that he asked me to go on a weekend getaway, it's the timing, you know? Like, he asked me and he wants to go that fast. Like, he wants to go next weekend, and that's a red flag because how fast is he moving in other aspects? You know, does he not know how to have a relationship?
But you can't just tell him, I don't feel comfortable with that. We should go on a few more alleyway cookouts. and then maybe a weekend getaway. You just stop talking to him?
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot. And I think it just kind of threw me off guard. So I guess I should tell him that. I've just been trying to think about how to say it in a way that's not going to hurt his feelings, I guess.
Oh, well, okay. I got good news for you then, Skylar.
What's up?
You did say it because he's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you.
What?
Hey, how's it going, Skylar?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my God. I didn't know that he was already there. Like, I thought you guys were going to call him.
No,
oh my God.
that's the beauty. That's the beautiful part of these. We're big liars, and he's been on the phone the whole time.
Are you embarrassed?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed.
You shouldn't be. I'm glad that you said all that stuff. It totally makes sense. I understand.
What?
But listen, I mean, like, I'm a very romantic person when something inspires me to be very romantic.
Aww.
Yeah, but Ethan, I understand that you have really strong feelings, but, like, do you usually ask people out on vacation right when you meet them? Because that's a lot. Like, I just want you to be in my shoes, like, it's a little scary to go out of town with someone you don't really know.
Yeah, I kind of see that now. I guess I was just wrapped up in the moment of being like, this is fun and silly, and what else can we do that is spontaneous like what we did tonight? And we don't even have to, like, stay in the same bed or, like, hotel when we go off and, like, go on a trip or something together. I just am trying to, I guess I was just trying to find ways or an excuse to spend time with you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're asking me to go out on a vacation, and we've only been on one date. So I need you to slow your roll just a little bit.
But Skylar, if he hadn't had said that, where were you at on the date? Like all the way up until he asked you for a weekend getaway. What was your thought about him?
I was having fun. You know, I want to take things slow, though. I want to get to know someone. You know, like, the date was great. We got to do something weird and crazy and fun, and obviously a very memorable date.
Maybe there's other weird, crazy, fun things you could do on a weekend getaway. Like super weird. You don't know.
Super weird? Not really helping, Juice.
Oh, my God.
Look, I mean, the only reason why I feel like I am jumping ahead so quickly is I just felt like we had a really awesome time, and I don't know if you feel this way, but I feel like I'm actually kind of falling for you.
Oh,
Wait, you're falling for me? Stuff like that, Ethan. Like, you need to be careful about what you're saying to me this early on.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how to say what I'm feeling inside. But I'm going to slow my roll. I can practice slowing my roll.
Yeah. If you just marry him, Skylar, he'll slow his roll a little bit. You know? Hey, Skylar, would you like to go out with Ethan on a second date? We'll pay for it. Just a regular date.
Yes.
So just to clarify, we're not talking about a vacation anywhere or like a couple's massage or anything. Right? This is like a very normal date.
That's what I'm thinking. Ethan, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Absolutely, totally normal. And if you want to go to Dubai for the weekend as well, we can do that.
Dubai.
I'm joking.
Okay. I don't know if you are. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
Okay, so Skylar, what do you say?
Yes, I will go on a second date.
Yay!
But I really want to take it slow and just get to know each other.
Okay.
Ethan, that means dinner.
All right.
Just dinner.
And we'll talk slow. I'll speak really slowly, too.
Just everything slow.
Slow.
Okay.
All right. Well, congratulations, Ethan. You got your second date.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And Skylar, you're sure you want to go out with Ethan again?
I do.
Oh, don't say those words to Ethan.
I mean, I will.
Okay, there you go. That's better.
Brooke and Jubal.
Lincoln South Food Hall in Bellevue. Fitness for foodies. From carb-loving meat eaters to vegan and everything in between, we've got you covered. Grab a quick lunch or come for happy hour. You'll leave craving more. Order online at lincolnsfh.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
How many times have you been on the phone with somebody from customer service and all you can think is, man, this is so pleasurable. I'd like to spend more time with them. All the time, right? That seems to be the way it always goes with customer service calls.
No.
Well, on today's second date update, this dude Jared is on the phone, and that's how he said he met the girl he went out with, through a customer service call.
What?
We'll get to your date in just a second, Jared, but how in the world do you actually go out with somebody from customer service and not just end up cussing at them? Or maybe that's how you guys bonded. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we didn't cuss at each other at all.
Okay.
It was,
Good.
I figure maybe you just like to argue with people that you go out with. So you got in an argument and you're like, hey, let's go out. You sound fun.
no, not at all, man. You know, I called a bookstore to see if I could put a book on reserve, and this woman answered the phone. Her name was Kelly, and, you know, she was helping me out the entire time, and she sounded super nice, very helpful.
Oh.
I don't know, it's weird.
Wow,
Okay,
she was like doing her job straight.
That makes more sense. You said customer service call, and all I thought was like utility bill or something.
God,
I was like, yeah, how did you possibly want to meet that person? But calling somebody at a bookstore is probably a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't explain it. She just kind of like grabbed my attention, her voice, you know? I mean, I don't know if this sounds weird, but like she sounded cute. I don't know if that's a thing.
So wait, how did you go from a phone call to a date? Did you go stalk her at the bookstore?
Well, I went to the bookstore to see if I could meet her in person because, like I said, it just kind of got my attention. Plus, I had to get the book anyway, kill two birds with one stone.
The only reason I think that this is okay is because she said yes to the date. Like, the lead-up does sound a little weird.
Well, he has to get his book anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you were going there for the book. Might as well try to catch a glimpse of her and see if she's as cute as she sounded.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I get there, and unfortunately, when I got there, she was not at the counter. It was actually a different guy. And, so I, in my best way, without sounding like a creep, asked him if Kelly was around. And I asked for her, and I just basically made stuff up about why I needed to talk to her. And it sounds awful. I know. On paper, it sounds horrible.
I mean, it could have sounded normal if you were like, I just wanted to thank her for the help.
That's true.
Yeah.
What did you make up?
I told him that, I talked to her specifically, and she knew about the book specifically, and it would just be a lot easier than talking to him because, I didn't want to tell him he didn't know anything. But luckily, he brought her out eventually.
Oh, my God. What was that like, though? Because you know nothing about her. You don't know what she looks like. You don't know if she's single. You don't know how old she is.
Yeah.
I mean, worst case scenario, if I wasn't, attracted to her, I'd just get my book and then leave. That was kind of what I was thinking.
Okay, and obviously you liked what you saw, so did you just ask her outright then?
No. So I basically, this poor woman, I kept asking 1,000 questions that I didn't actually care about. And we basically just led her around the circle in the bookstore. And long story short, I actually grabbed 9 books.
9?
It seems a bit excessive, but I was really just trying to see how much I could find out about her within a short time and see if it was someone I wanted to ask out.
Okay. So did she know that you were the guy that she talked to on the phone?
Yeah, she did.
She did. And so when did you ask her out?
So I asked her out when I was cashing out the books. And, I asked her if she wanted to grab dinner sometime.
Okay.
And to my surprise, she said yes.
Okay, so how was dinner?
Dinner went really well. We went somewhere. It was kind of right in the in-between. It wasn't fast food, and it wasn't a super fancy restaurant,
Okay.
So
good call.
It was fun.
Okay.
But honestly, all I could think about is there's maybe one awkward moment, but it's so tiny. I can't imagine that it could have affected it, but there was one awkward moment.
How tiny is it?
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah.
This sounds so stupid, but I had to excuse myself at one point to go to the restroom, and so when I pushed back in my chair to stand up, the chair, squeaked against the floor. It kind of sounded like I farted, and I was super self-conscious about it. And so, I immediately just blurted out, oh, that wasn't me, that was the chair.
Now it sounds like
now it does sound like you farted. And you're getting up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Doesn't make me sound better.
Yeah.
No,
Did she laugh? What was her reaction?
So she just said that basically she would have never noticed if I didn't bring it up, which made me feel even more uncomfortable.
So what happened next?
We got our check. I paid for the meal, and I walked her to her car, and I was kind of trying to figure out, see if there's an opening to move in to kiss her. Nice. And I couldn't find one, and, before I could even try, she ended up reaching in and hugging me. And that's how the date ended.
Okay.
That's not terrible.
Yeah,
a hug's always
not bad.
neutral.
A hug is good. At least she touched you, even though you farted. All right, so how many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
I texted her one time after the date, basically just saying, hey, I had a really good time, and then that was it.
Okay, and you haven't been, lurking in the bookshop where she works or anything?
No, God, I would never do that. I mean, I thought about it, but, I would not do it.
Yeah, that's good. All right, well, we'll play a song and then come back and call her and get your second date update, okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Hey, Jared?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. That whole story of how you met Kelly, the girl you want to call on a second date update today, reminds me of that movie, from the 90s where the guy met the girl and then they, fell in love and stuff. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Tom Hanks was in that, wasn't he?
Remember that movie where that guy met that girl?
Yeah, every movie.
Just the way you're talking about it, how you called a bookstore to reserve a book and then thought she sounded cute, so you went in there and asked her out and you guys went out to dinner. Reminds me exactly of that movie where that guy met that girl and they fell in love. You remember the kiss in that movie? Such a good kiss.
Big kiss.
Remember that, Jared?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they were standing out there in the weather.
Yeah.
And then they kissed out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like sunny, rainy, windy conditions. There's all kinds of.
It really made an impact on you.
Yeah,
apparently.
great movie.
Yeah.
Loved that movie, and that's what this reminds me of. So I'm hoping you get a second date. Even though you didn't get a kiss at the end of the date, you just got a hug. But we'll call Kelly right now and find out why she isn't calling you back. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And I didn't hear, I mean, I know that you thought Kelly was cute and you liked her voice, but what did you actually really like about her?
I mean, just the fact that we could have like normal conversation. She's got a great sense of humor, and we had a lot of things in common.
She just did that thing with her hair,
Oh, the hair thing.
or her lip, or the smile, right?
Thing.
Yeah,
In the weather.
just like that movie.
Yeah.
Right before you guys kissed out there in the weather.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it.
Okay, well,
Yes.
let's continue the love story right now, and I'm gonna call her and see if we can figure out why she isn't getting back to you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Kelly?
Yes.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay, because you said like you were confused.
I think she knows her name.
Kelly, this is Jubal from the radio show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Okay.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
How can I help you?
Nothing I can really think of right now.
I don't, she
Okay, how
wants
can
to
I help
know
you,
why-
Kelly?
Okay.
Is there a reason why you're calling me?
Oh, that's it. All right, thanks for getting me back on track. Kelly, have you ever heard of the show Brooke and Jubal in the Morning before?
No.
No. Okay. Have you ever heard of a segment that people do on radio shows called the Second Date Update?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we're a radio show, like I said, and we do that segment. And that's where
Okay.
if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them back after, they can email us to get you on the phone and figure out what happened. Okay. Are you thoroughly confused?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we got an email from a dude named Jared that you went out with.
Okay.
Okay. And he's wondering why you're not getting back to him.
Oh my God.
Whoa.
Seriously?
Was that a good oh my God or a bad oh my God? I couldn't tell.
Bad.
Bad.
Really bad.
All right,
So there's
really
a-
bad. Okay.
You have a reason why you're not calling him back.
Yeah.
Really?
Can you tell us what it is?
I'm really, really surprised that he doesn't know. And the fact that he doesn't know means he's clueless. Like, really.
Wow, it's that
No,
obvious?
he's really clueless. You're right.
Yeah, he's
Because
always...
his description, it sounded like a lovely date. Like you guys got along, you had good conversation.
Yeah, it almost sounded like that movie from the 90s.
Oh, God, don't start
You know where the
again.
guy and the girl meet? You probably know what I'm talking about, but it sounded like a nice date.
Well, it was a great date. We were having a great conversation until the end.
Okay.
The end,
what-
he ruined it at the
Yeah,
end.
What happened at the end?
So the waitress comes over, asks us if we want dessert. We say no. And she's like, do you want to take this home? And he's like, sure. And she's like, 2 boxes? And he's like, oh, no, you can just put it all in one. And then she takes our place and puts all the food in one box, and it comes back, and he says nothing.
And he takes it?
So wait,
He took the box?
He took your leftovers?
Yeah.
He, like, robbed you in
He
front of
took
you?
your He stole your leftovers.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and the weird part is, like, I had fettuccine Alfredo, right? And I had, like, more than half sitting there that I was going to, like, eat for lunch the next day. So it's like, how could you not see that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird not to let the other person have an opportunity at their food.
Did you like make mention that you didn't like it at some point? Like over half is a lot left. Maybe he thought you didn't like it and he would enjoy it.
It's not that I didn't even like it. It's just that, in restaurants they give huge sizing of food, and it's like a lot. So I could only eat so much, and plus I'm nervous. This is my first date with him. And
So wait, but you liked him all the way up until this point. Like, I feel like you should take some responsibility and not speaking up and saying, no, I want my leftovers. Like, there had to have been an opportunity where you could have interjected.
I don't want to fight the guy for leftovers. I mean, he should have more consideration.
Yeah. I mean, that might put an awkward tone to your date, too. If you pipe up, you're like, no, give me my food. And then you guys are fighting over your fettuccine. That would be weird.
I just think that, like, it's a weird thing, but I don't think it's a reason not to call somebody back.
Oh, food is a big reason.
I
not to call someone
don't.
back.
You had a great date.
She never said great. She said it was okay.
And when I was driving home, it just dawned on me, like, this guy just stole my lunch.
He pretty much did, yeah. He just took your food and didn't even ask. I guess I kind of get it.
Wow.
Kelly, would you like to ask him about it ever? Or you just don't want to talk to him?
No, I'm done with him. He's selfish and inconsiderate.
Wow.
Jared, did you hear that? You're selfish and inconsiderate.
Yeah. I heard that.
Wait. He's on the phone right now?
Yeah, forgot to tell you that. Jared is on the other line listening and wants to talk to you. That's why we called.
I cannot believe this.
Sorry.
Listen, you don't understand. Like, I took that stuff for my mom. Okay, I was trying to take it home for my mom.
Whoa.
What are you talking about?
I know it sounds weird, but like, I see my mom every weekend, and I just wanted to bring her some food. So I figured if I took the leftovers, I could bring it over to her place and give her some food. That's why I did it, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
You're bringing your date's partially eaten leftovers to your mother?
Partially eating? Are you kidding me? I was watching the whole time. She barely even touched it.
Okay, so you took your date's full meal home to your mom, basically.
It was not your meal. It was my meal. You had no right to do that without asking me. I had half of the fettuccine Alfredo. Half.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Like, first off, I'm feeding my mom. It's a nice thing to do. That's a good quality to have in a person. And second off, to be honest, I paid for it. It's technically my food.
I thought that was going to be your argument the whole time, not that your mother was hungry.
I mean, both. It can be both. I had to feed my mom. I paid for this food. That's my food, I don't understand how that's such a deal breaker. She barely touched it. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me.
Well, maybe I would have said yes, but you never once mentioned your mother or anything. No explanation. You just took my food, and it was like, what?
Well, now that you know why I did it, you think I'm a good person at least, right?
No, not at all.
Not one bit. It's
Not
trying to
at
feed his
all.
mom.
Come on, trying to feed his family.
I'm really conflicted on this one.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I even believe the whole mom story. It sounds like you just wanted to eat my food. That's what I think.
Listen, I'll be completely 100% honest with you. When I did bring it to my mom, I did try some of it, and it was okay.
It was just okay.
Just
So
an okay review.
he kind of saved you the pain of having to deal with that food anymore, Kelly.
This is unbelievable. I don't get this guy.
Well, would you like to get him again? Because, Kelly, you can go on a second date with Jared. We'll pay for it. Would you like to go out with him again?
You want me to go on another date with this guy and so he can take my food and give it to his mom? No.
His mom's apparently hungry.
Well, if we're paying for it, it's my food, and I'll tell he can't take your half.
Listen, Kelly, if we do a date during the middle of the week, you can totally have the food because I won't need to take it to my mom on the weekend.
Oh, see? There you go, Kelly. What do you
Okay.
think? Still a no?
No, you're so weird. I really don't get you.
I'm sorry, Jared. No second date.
Kelly, how about this? Next time we go on a date, I'll bring my mom and we can all have meals and I'll buy them all separately and everyone can go home with what they bought.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a solution.
Still a no, Kelly?
No.
Okay.
No second date with the mother.
Sorry, Jared.
Well, this is a bummer. My mom's going to be real upset. I told her about you and, how nice the day went. So.
Stop talking about your mom. This is ridiculous. Just hang up the phone. I'm done with you.
All right. Well, at least we learned one thing from today's second date update, and that one thing is if you want to date Jared, just make sure you order enough for yourself and his mom also.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
It's actually kind of split with people texting in right now at 78592 about today's second date update. A lot of people are calling the dude a weirdo, but some people are saying that the girl should just plan on buying her own lunch.
It is.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain it real quick. This dude, Jared, wanted to call a girl named Kelly. They went out to dinner, and the reason she wasn't calling him back was because after dinner, he took her leftovers.
Yeah.
And he said he was taking them because he wanted to give them to his mom.
Which
And he thought that was like a sweet thing. Like, look how close I am with my mom. But she thought it was weird that he just took her leftovers. He didn't even ask. He just had her leftovers boxed up, and then he took them. And she thought it was a very weird move, and she was planning on taking those leftovers for lunch. And people are like, she should buy her own damn lunch. And other people are like, yeah, that's weird. Don't take somebody's leftovers.
I feel like they're missing out on a great opportunity because they're both very passionate about leftovers.
Yeah.
Which
that's true.
could be the common thing that binds them together, not tears them apart.
Well, she thought it was weird and didn't want to go out with him again, so they're not going on a second date. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, just email us and we'll call the person who didn't call you back. It is Friday, and that means Young Jeffrey's Song of the Week coming up in just a few minutes.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I really want to help this dude out who's on the phone for the second date update today, except he won't tell me the complete story of what happened on his date.
No. And it's rare you actually want to help somebody.
Yeah, true. Both. Weird things. He left in the middle of his date to deal with something. And that's where he's being vague. He won't tell me exactly what it is. Jimmy, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up?
Why don't you tell everybody what happened on your date? Like, you left at some point for what?
I left because I have a bit of a medical issue, and I had to sort of go and deal with it.
So when you say you left in the middle of the date, you got up and just left.
Well, no, it's not like I just got up and walked away. Like I excused myself. I told her I had to go and deal with this thing, and I went outside.
You can't give me a clue at all what the medical issue you had to leave your date in the middle of was for?
No, I really want to keep that private.
Did you give Marissa more information than we're getting right now?
Yeah, I explained the situation to her, and she seemed cool with it initially, but when I came back, I don't know, her energy was different, you know. I tried to get things going again, you know, spark the conversation, but it's just like we weren't clicking, you know.
And then how was the date going up until tell us a little bit about what you guys did before you excused yourself for...
Well, up till then, actually, the date was good. I'm born and raised in Seattle, but she just moved here. So I decided that I would show her some stuff that she hasn't done in Seattle yet. So I know it's going to sound kind of lame, but we rode the monorail.
Okay, so like touristy stuff.
Yeah, so you rode 2 blocks on the monorail, and then you had a whole afternoon to kill after that, right? So,
I know. It's just something like everybody's got to do it once, you know. And it was great. It was a nice time, and then we went and we had sushi.
Okay, and that's when your medical issue came up and you had to excuse yourself.
Yeah.
How long were you gone dealing with whatever your medical issue was?
It was a while. It was like 10 minutes, maybe 15.
Okay.
10, 15 minutes, okay.
Do you think that she believed you when you said medical issue, or do you think she thought you were lying and doing something else?
At first, I thought she was cool with it, but when I got back, I don't know, she seemed kind of pissed off. And so it made me think that maybe she thought I was lying to her or something like that. I don't know.
All right, and then how did the date end with you guys?
We left the restaurant, and then we each got separate cabs. I gave her a hug, and that was about it. And I said, you know, I had a good time, and we should do this again. And she said to text her, and so I have been, but she's not responding.
Nothing. Okay, and how many times have you tried texting her since your date?
About 4 or 5 times.
Okay. So you think it's probably the medical issue thing?
I don't know. Either she doesn't believe me, or it freaked her out, or I don't know. I really don't know.
Since you won't tell us what it is, let me ask you: is it something that would gross her out? I mean, you got to give me a little bit.
It's just that it's a private issue, and I just don't really want to say anything about it. Like, I know it's weird because I'm talking to you on the radio and I'm talking to you. It's just, I don't know.
I guess what I'm trying to say is it a normal medical issue where someone would hear something about it and be like, okay, that's understandable? Or did you go like, oh, herpes are flaring up, I'll be right back?
Please get the herpes.
That would definitely mean you're not going to get a call back.
Yeah.
No, I can promise you it's not herpes.
Now, if we get her on the phone and she tells us what it is, are you going to be upset?
Well, I don't really want her to say.
Okay.
I'm hoping she'll respect my privacy, but yeah.
Who knows, right?
Well, if it's embarrassing enough,
she'll probably say something. If it's embarrassing enough, you know how the second date updates work. We'll play a song, come back, see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date update, all right?
All right, cool.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Before we make the phone call for Jimmy, who's on the phone right now for a second date update. Jimmy, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Are you an arms dealer?
Uh-oh.
Or perhaps an international drug kingpin?
No.
All right. I'm just making sure. Because he's very mysterious. Very mysterious. If you listen to the first part of the second date update, Jimmy met a girl named Marissa online. They had a pretty normal date. Nothing of note, except for the fact that he left in the middle of it to deal with a medical issue. He won't tell us what the medical issue is. So I'm assuming he was outside in the parking lot selling arms to our enemies.
That's a natural conclusion.
For at least like 15 minutes. Or drugs. I'm not sure which one, Jimmy. I'll figure you out, though.
All right, man. Whatever.
All right. I'll find you out. I smell a rat.
I'm on to you.
Yeah. So, and again, you were gone from the date for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, like about 15 minutes.
All right. And when you came back, that's the point where she seemed like she was ready to end the date and go home.
Yeah, she seemed pretty cold and like not into it anymore.
All right. Well, we'll dial the number. Hope she answers the phone. And if she does, maybe we can get your second date update. All right. You ready?
Yeah, cool. Let's go.
Here we go, man.
Hello?
Hi, is Marissa there?
Yeah, this is her.
Hello, Marissa. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning, the radio show. Yeah, you are definitely a listener. Do you have a few seconds to talk to us?
I'm sorry, why are you guys... What is this? Why are you guys calling me?
I'm calling you because a listener of ours sent us an email about you.
Really?
Yeah, and they asked me to give you a call.
Okay.
His name is Jimmy, and you went out on a date with him recently.
Oh, no.
Okay, so you remember Jimmy.
Oh, God, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. All right. It sounds like you didn't have a fun time. It sounds like you didn't have a fun time with Jimmy. Jimmy had a great time with you.
Oh.
The reason that I'm calling is he'd love to see you again, but you're not responding to any of his text messages. Judging from your reaction right there, you definitely aren't doing that on accident.
Nope, that's on purpose.
Okay. Is there something that Jimmy did to make you not like him?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Is it the fact that he left in the middle of your date to take care of some sort of medical issue that he won't tell us what the medical issue is, but he described your date to us and said that everything went well until that moment where he got up, left, and came back 15 minutes later, and then you seemed kind of cold and upset.
He told you all of that?
Yep. But he said that he really likes you and would love to see you again. And if he can't see you again, he'd love to know why.
Wow. Okay.
Do you mind telling us what the issue is?
What, his medical issue?
Sure, I'd love to know. He won't tell me.
Yeah, we're dying.
If you want to tell us that, that's fine.
No.
Well, he never actually told me what the medical condition is, so I can't really help you with that.
That's good.
He
Respect the man's privacy.
I know, I want to know. He wouldn't tell us either. Is that it, though? I'm assuming that's what happened.
I mean, we were having dinner, and I was telling him this story, and all of a sudden, he got really quiet and stopped eating. Okay. And I could kind of tell that he wasn't really listening to my story, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he tells me, he's like, so, hey, I haven't told you this, but I have this, like, medical condition, and I need to leave. So I'll be right back. And I was like, okay. And he actually left the restaurant. He walked right out of the restaurant. And I was like, oh, my God, he's ditching me, you know?
Yeah, he told us he went outside. But again, he wouldn't tell us what the issue was either.
Yeah. So I told my waiter, listen, I'm not dining and dashing, but I'm going to leave my purse right here. My date just left, and I need to go find out where he is. So I went outside, and I was searching just everywhere for him, and then finally went around the corner. And there was like this alleyway, and I looked down the alley, and he's sitting there with a homeless guy smoking pot.
What?
Wait, what?
And I don't think he saw me. So I went back into the restaurant.
So he took a weed break in the middle of your date.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is the rudest thing that anyone's ever done to me. I mean,
And he
can't
was-
you wait till later?
He was smoking it with a homeless dude?
Yeah, he like bummed it from a homeless guy.
It's weird. Like, it's almost like if he passed by, the guy was like, oh, man, I can't listen to this date anymore. I got to get outside and smoke with this dude real quick. Is that what it felt like to you?
I was shocked. You know, it was the first date, and my date had gone and smoked pot in the middle of it. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. I was like, who does that?
Yeah. He could have at least invited you, right, Marissa?
Oh, come on. Marissa, I've been turned off in the past when a guy has gone out and taken a cigarette break. So, I mean, I can sympathize with you on that. Do you feel like he lied to you?
I don't care. Honestly, I just don't care. I just never want to see him again.
Marissa, if you could say anything to Jimmy right now, what would you say to him?
Stop texting me.
Stop texting me. Okay. I would like you now to say that to Jimmy because he's actually on the other line listening.
Shut up.
Hey, Marissa.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah.
How's it going?
What are you doing?
Jimmy, did you leave your date to go smoke weed with a homeless dude?
Okay, I did.
Nice.
But it is connected to a medical condition, and I didn't want to say anything, but
Are you stoned right now, Jimmy?
no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
So you smoke medical marijuana for a legit medical reason?
Yeah, I have anxiety.
Wait.
And so that's what happened that night is she was talking to me, and I started to have like a panic attack in the middle of a conversation, and I had to go because I was getting like all sweaty, and I was like, I gotta go.
Okay, well, who's the homeless guy that you're smoking it with?
How does he fit in?
I don't know. He was actually really cool. And he asked what was up, and I gave him a toke, and he was like, you know, dude, what are you doing? You got to get back in there before she walks out on you. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right.
Well, is Marissa even on the phone? Marissa, are you there still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought you had hung up. So what do you think of Jimmy's story?
Jimmy, you could have at least just told me what you were doing. I would have understood, if that's what you needed to go do. Instead, you just I have no idea if you were even going to come back.
In hindsight, you're right. I was just in full panic though, and I didn't know what to do because I really liked you, and I think that kind of made me nervous. And I'm sorry.
Well, lesson learned for the next date you go on, if there is ever one.
Oh, that sounds like you don't want to go out with him again, Marissa.
Come on.
No, I don't trust him.
I'll pay for a second date. Will you go out with Jimmy one more time? We'll pay for it.
No, it's not happening.
Weed and everything.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll pay for it all.
You can get in on the action
Yeah.
this time, too.
There's no way I can get you to go out with Jimmy again?
Yeah, I'm just not a guy to leave in the middle of a first date to go smoke with the homeless.
Weird. I guess there's one girl out there who doesn't like that.
Dude, I learned a lesson today.
Yeah. Sorry, Jimmy.
Oh, well. Hey, you guys want to hang out sometime?
No, dude, I'm not hitting off a homeless guy's pipe.
Hey, I'm there, bro. Hit me up.
Oh, gosh.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.